the biggest signs that your marriage is over. Is your marriage over? Here's how to tell. After all of these years that I've spent working with individuals and couples alike, I have been able to identify patterns in failing marriages. As I said above, the key to making informed decisions is to do as much research as possible. When the decision feels so hard to make that it seems that you are paralyzed and don't know how to move forward, it is often because you don't have enough information. However, as time goes on and you are proactive about analyzing the situation, the choice becomes much clearer. So here are some signs of a failing marriage to help you get a clear idea of what is going on right now. Overcoming codependency. When your marriage is over. Opponents versus teammates. When people ask me about how to know when your marriage is over, I bring their attention to the dynamic between them and their husband or wife. Do they operate as a team, or is there a sense of disconnect in which the desire for justice seems to take precedence? A sign of a failing marriage is when one person consistently chooses justice or revenge over forgiveness. When their partner makes a mistake, they feel the need to make him or her back down or pay for whatever it is that they did wrong. One thing that we often forget in relationships is that each and every single one of us is human. This means that no one is perfect, and to err it is to be human. Sure, being faced with your partner's mistakes can be frustrating at times, but when you are in a committed relationship, it's all about operating as a team. If you are feeling vengeful toward your partner or vice versa, and if forgiveness doesn't seem to have a seat at the table, then you are looking at one of the signs your marriage is over. A married couple should be working to overcome obstacles and challenges in their relationship by pinpointing the source and working together to find a long-term solution. When a person is constantly seeking justice, it can quickly undermine the bond between two people and make them feel further apart. What's more, the more this happens, the more tension and resentment will squeeze their way between you and your husband or wife. If you feel like your relationship has been battered by waves of challenges and an ocean of conflict for quite some time now, it would not be shocking if you started to see the relationship in a different way. When a person or a couple is faced with challenge after challenge, it becomes dangerously easy to forget that a marriage is a relationship, not a project to be completed or a problem to solve. Challenges are inevitable in any relationship, especially when the honeymoon phase passes. A lot of people make the mistake of confusing the end of the honeymoon phase with the end of the relationship. The truth is that relationships evolve and mature, and there is usually a catalyst that pushes the relationship into a more mature state. It's perfectly normal for a relationship to begin to change after time, and it doesn't always mean that the marriage is over. That said, if you see the marriage as nothing but a burden or a problem that needs solving, it can mean that things are falling apart. When do you know your marriage is over? No one takes responsibility. Following in line with my previous point about the blame game, another indicator that a marriage is over is when either the husband or the wife refuses to take responsibility for their actions and their mistakes. Instead of accepting that they did something wrong and making a conscious effort to implement long-term solutions, the person will find ways to make it everybody else's fault and, more specifically, their spouse's fault. I worked with a couple a few weeks ago who live in Santa Barbara, California. They had been married for about 7 years, and they were teetering on the brink of divorce when it came to light that the husband, Clark, had had an affair. I was working with both of them because they wanted to repair their marriage, and I remember Clark saying to his wife, Alicia, "Well, I never would have done it if you'd stopped telling me to lose weight because I looked better before. I don't know why you have to make me feel so unattractive all the time." Though she may have lacked a bit of tact in her approach, he was trying to deflect blame and not take responsibility for the mistake he had made. When a person is unable to take responsibility, apologize, and make the effort to change, they will lose credibility in their partner's eyes, their partner will not feel respected, and the divide between them will continue to grow. Humility and willingness to change are crucial elements of a happy and stable relationship. In failing relationships, I often see that one or both partners will try to fulfill their own needs at the other person's expense. They will continuously put themselves before the relationship and before their spouse, and in doing so, they undermine the foundation of the marriage. One person's selfishness can make the other feel unsupported and unimportant. As I said, in a healthy relationship there will be the give and take, not a me-first attitude. If one partner is willing to step all over the other in order to get what they want, the relationship will crumble. A little bit of space and room to breathe in a relationship is always healthy, but when long periods of space don't do anything to bring you closer together, there is a problem. For example, let's say that your spouse goes away on long business trips and the sense of relief you feel when he or she is not around is palpable. When they return, tensions seem to be higher than ever, you don't feel like you missed each other, and it feels like both of you are frustrated to be back in the same place as the other. If this is happening, then you're looking at one of the signs of a broken marriage. Time apart should actually serve as a way to bring you closer together by allowing you to miss each other and have things that you want to share when you reunite. Pay attention to how it feels when you reunite after an extended period of time. Things should not feel the same or even worse than before. If this is not the case, you'll notice that your significant other is no longer afraid of losing you when you pull away for a long period of time. Another sign a marriage is ending is when neither person in the relationship is able to control their temper around each other. If you two keep ending up in explosive fights on a regular basis, especially if it's over trivial things, it might be a sign that your relationship is beyond repair. Incessant fighting creates a hostile environment which makes it very hard to find solutions and be loving towards one another. In addition to this, constant fighting comes from an inability to relate or empathize with your partner, and this can make you drift even further apart. The thing I want to stress is that when a relationship or a marriage is truly over, you will know when the time has come. If you can honestly say that you have done everything in your power to make it work and there just seems to be no signs of improvement, it is time to detach and face your feelings. It is possible to face your fears about losing control while getting in control of yourself and your responsibilities. If you can free others to be who they are, then you will set yourself free as well.